And we are live.
Welcome, everyone, to a special Sunday night edition of Violent Wrestling Podcast, affectionately known as VWP. We are doing a TLC live right after review on a Sunday. Again, our days are, it's all over the place, but it's not a Wednesday, it's not a Tuesday, it's not a Thursday. It's a Sunday. It's live right after TLC, and we're giving live reactions of what just happened during the show. And by always, I have my co-host. I have the one, the only Ambrose Alley,
Hello, everyone.
and of course, my other, or the other, the greatest, the one, the all, Metal Matt.
Hey.
Dead silence. Dead silence.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I was in a great mood right now.
You could
I'm
at
not.
least say hi.
I can say hi, and that's about all I can do.
if Matt had his camera on, I'm sure we're all getting flipped the bird. But so yeah, TLC just happened, and um, there's a lot to talk about. But just to keep it, or at least our minds, from exploding like right off the get go, we're just gonna start the from start to finish. That way we can like at least get through this before everybody starts breaking shit. The pre-show matches start with cruiserweight. Buddy Murphy defending his championship against Cedric Alexander. Um, I didn't actually watch this match. I was keeping up with it, but didn't watch it. Cedric loses again to Buddy. From what I gather, it's was a good match. They don't put on bad matches, but Buddy retains. And I don't think Matt watched the pre-show either. I don't think Matt watches pre-show.
No, I did. I didn't.
So moving along to
I
the
didn't either. So,
so any objection to Buddy retaining here? I think it was a solid choice. I predicted him to win.
I, I'm happy that Buddy retained.
He's doing so good with it that not like Cedric wasn't, but like how. And a quick pointer, like I don't do sugar, and it was my birthday Friday, and I had some birthday cake earlier. Like I didn't actually have it for my birthday, but after TLC or yeah TLC dinner, um, family wanted leftover birthday cake, and I had a slice, and that might be why I'm talking a little fast. And so here we are. I'm a little hyper. So anyway, um, moving and the sad part, not the sad part, but the bad part. And yes, I really am talking fast. I'm just now noticing it. I sound like the Micro Machine guy from back in the '80s. Anywho, um, they didn't announce like pre-show matches. They just happened. Like they're like the kickoff show, and these were just like, oh, there's matches on the kickoff show. The second match on the kickoff show was the Elias versus Bobby Lashley, a guitar hanging above match. Like Elias, take a breath, breathe.
Lashley.
Elias won,
Mm-hmm.
but then Leo Rush got the guitar, and Leo and Bobby or Bob um, beat the shit out of Elias post match. Um, my thoughts are yay, Elias got a win. B, that figures on the post match beatdown. Um, and I was actually really disappointed that these were both on the pre-show since I wasn't able to watch because I wanted to watch both of them. Any random thoughts on Elias, Bobby, Ashley?
I hope they get this feud over with.
Yeah, I hope this was it. This move Elias to something else. For that matter, move Lashley to something else.
Elias needs to go into the IC title grouping.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. Yeah, and that was my exact thought. Um, apparently that's going to be tied up through Rumble, but after Rumble, he really does need to be in that picture.
So was that all on the pre-show?
Yes, ma'am. Did I say does he need to be on the Rumble? He needs to be in the IC title picture like ASAP. This is there's medical reasons why I don't do sugar, but this is definitely one of the side effects of why I don't do sugar. Anywho, that was it for the pre-show. Apparently, there was a segment where with Becky and the where everybody's talking and that they brought up later in the show. But as far as matches, that was it. So we kick off the show with not only was it on the proper TLC, but they actually streamed this on Facebook Live. The mixed match challenge finale or finals with Carmella and R-Truth versus Jinder Mahal and
And Alicia
Alicia Fox.
Foxy.
Yeah, that this match was really bad, especially the finish.
The best part about this match was we all know the R-Truth, his rap when he comes out, but Carmella actually got in some. I won't call them bars, but she did a rap along with R-Truth. That was pretty neat. Now, just like people that have been watching it on Facebook Live, which apparently haven't been a lot since the last um, MMC on Facebook did like 17,000 live viewers. So this was a broader audience of seeing them working together. Yeah, that this match was um, you had Mella, you had R-Truth, you have Gender, and you have Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox. It's not going to be anything spectacular. Mella Truth end up getting the win.
Yay for them.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, because I think this was Jinder's first pay-per-view match since Money in the Bank, which was in like June. That's all I got.
Really,
I just don't like gender, so.
Yeah, at least we know why he has another pay-per-view match since June. Good God, what the hell was that?
we knew before then why he shouldn't have been. Yes, we hinder the gender. Who cares? The best part about this, and we all pretty much foreshadowed this, was okay. They already said the winners get number 30 in the respective Royal Rumbles. So Mella's 30 and R-Truth will be 30, but they also get a vacation. And we all, I say we all, but a lot of people foreshadowed watch Truth pick some kind of like a live event they're going to be at anyway, or like wherever WWE is going to be at anyway. He actually took it up a notch, and because Mela was about to, she thought, or whatever you want to say, like they could each pick their individual, vacation thing. And just as she was going to announce where she's going, as her reward, Truth interrupts her. No, 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 no. I already picked for the both of us. And it took like 5 minutes to get there, but he finally says, we're going to WWE Towers in Stamford, Connecticut. So that's where they're going as a reward of their vacation. They're going to WWE headquarters.
Oh, some reward.
Yeah, like thanks, Truth. Because Mel is thinking like all these, Paris and then some of the things he was like describing, like trying to give her hints, like think more tropical, think more like Stamford, Connecticut is like I'm just assuming that was more true doing true stuff, but anyway, that match was what it was. Usually I see why they did it since they also did Facebook Live to get the Facebook audience like, okay, now come subscribe to the network. But it was a very, very lackluster opener where you usually want the crowd to pop, and this didn't do it. The next match, on the other hand, was the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match. The Usos versus um, the New Day versus your current tag team champions, the Bar. And this is what I thought they would open the program with because usually they do open it with the New Day. Um, Pretty solid match for what it was, except for the fact we've been seeing these same teams over and over and over again. Like it's so repetitive.
Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts. That's my thoughts on it as well. It's like it wasn't a bad match. It was pretty solid. It's just we've seen these teams just fall. Yeah, I'm just kind of over it. I'm not a fan of the Bar retaining. They really need to lose the titles here. I just hope that after this, they have a new team enter the title picture, whether that's Sanity or Gallows Anderson, or maybe even like a wild card. Probably will not happen, but maybe even like an NXT tag team coming up and going into the
Yeah,
title picture. I
somebody,
just, I
anybody,
just
like
want like something different.
yeah, anything different. Um, Bar retains. What it was kind of weird how it was set up. Like it three teams, but it wasn't triple threat rules. Like only one member from two teams could be involved at a time. Like it wasn't a triple threat tag team match. It was 1-on-1, which made it so awkward because the Usos for a long time never got tagged in. Like that, it just made it weird. I think if you're going to do three tag teams facing each other, the better route would be a triple threat tag team, where there's a member of each team. But they didn't do this here. So we literally watched the Usos on the apron for a while. And they kept saying it on commentary. Like the Usos haven't been in, and Corey, well, who's going to take? Why would you? You're at the advantage if you don't tag them in. If you don't tag them in, they can't win. Good match, kind of weird, but And if the bar retains, of course.
Well, it's just seeing these three always going at it. They need a fresh tag team in there. This is too repetitive.
Oh, definitely. Like there's and that's kind of across the board for all of WWE tag team wrestling, and that even kind of dwindles down into NXT as well. Like they're not saying they're not putting on good matches, just the repetitiveness of who's facing who. Hey, do you have the chat up?
No, but I can pull it up real quick. Just give me a second here.
No second for you. But yeah, that was really the only drawback of this match was the repetitiveness, and um, I'm I'm like mad, like the bar thing, like they just don't really do it for me anymore.
Yeah, because it's just a random tag team, and it's just they've been in the title scene pretty much ever since they formed. I mean, there's just not that much to them as a team, and I get
Chaos
and I get why they're still a team, but still, yeah.
Yeah. And were you saying chaos? What now?
Chaos Theory said that it was a decent pay-per-view, but the Edge and Christian show was much better.
I
Oh yeah, and I'm gonna.
I really need to catch up on that show.
I
Oh,
was
so do
gonna.
I. I really do. I miss watching it.
Oh, now I was starting it when we were going live, so I was gonna wait and watch it until after we're off the air. It starts off very funny, um, where Jeff Jarrett's gonna be um the my mind just went completely blank, but I almost said Jeff Jarrett's gonna be the host. Like, no, he's not gonna be the host. He's gonna be the guest. And they this like PA guy like knocks on his door, like, Mr. Jarrett, and he answers the door, his dressing room thing, the green room, whatever. I'm like, yeah, what do you want? Edge and Christian are ready for you. Like, well, guess what? My contract with them ended yesterday. If they want me to be on this show, and if I don't even have to finish that, if you get that reference of the rumors and stuff of what he did to WWF back in the day, of the money he milked out of McMahon for appearing one more time, the to appear the day after his contract ended. Like, I thought that was pretty clever, because the rumor has it like he was IC champion, and like, if you want me to show up, I need the price range goes all over the place. Like, $250,000, and I'll show up. And McMahon had to pay the $250,000 for him to show up. I believe it was the match with him and China.
Yeah, I
Is
think this was No Mercy 99, I think.
I believe so. Yeah. Right after that, he was WCW bound again. But yeah, then some say no, that didn't happen, or maybe it did. It just wasn't for that much amount. He just wanted to. But there for a while, there were, and this is early days of smartness and of behind the scenes stuff and boards, wrestling boards, and he milked McMahon for $250,000 to show up for that one to job to China because his contract just ended the day before. So just that little going back to the Edge and Christian beginning, that was a funny way of starting this podcast. Okay. Any other thoughts on the SmackDown tag team match? Besides, please, give us. We want fresh meat, damn it.
Yes, we do. We need fresh meat. Fresh meat. Meat. Fresh meat.
Meat. We need meat. Or if you're vegan, a different vegetable, something.
Something.
Something different, yeah. No more Brussels sprouts. Matt, off the top of your head, what match was next?
Trying
Um,
to think.
There's no thinking. Off the top of your head, no thinking.
Oh
And
yeah, it was the Braun Strowman Baron Corbin match. If you could call it a match.
They did go right back to that, didn't they? Or not right back to that, but they went right to that.
Yeah, this was the TLC match with Braun and Corbin, which I was surprised that it went on as early as it did because I thought I figured it was going to be like the main event or something like that, like one of the last matches on the card. But this was very early on, and I just thought it was a neat way to sort of end Corbin's GM run. All the Raw superstars that he pissed off, Braun Strowman winning and getting the Universal title match, Corbin losing power, and all that stuff. So I think they were able to work around Braun's real life energy very well.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, I thought there was something in between this, but no, we went straight from the SmackDown Tag Team Championship to this, and somehow in my head, this might have been when I was asking the family if they wanted cake or whatever. But somehow in my head, no, surely there was a buffer in between those two. But so we get Baron coming out. We have Heath Slater in a referee shirt, and they play up, Heath Slater losing his job now, being a referee, blah blah blah. And Baron comes out and ring the bell, and when Braun doesn't show up by the count of 10, he forfeits. And the bell rings, he starts counting. And in the corner, here comes Apollo Crews with a chair. Surely to God, we're not going to have Apollo Crews. Oh, well, Braun comes out. And Braun says, guess, with this kind of match, it's a no disqualification match, so I can have help. And I said weeks ago, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is going to come defend his job title. And then you see Apollo Crews. Okay. Kurt's still coming out sometime, right? Apollo Crews comes over the barricade with a chair. And commentary, oh yeah, because Baron Corbin's, screwed over Apollo so bad. And Apollo or Baron goes to walk to the other side, and to the other side you have Chad Gable and Bobby Roode with chairs, so he can't escape that side. And commentary plays up. He's also screwed up Bobby Roode and Chad Gable. And then, okay, he can leave the third side of the ring, and guess who's on that side? Finn Balor with a chair. And they play up that how much Baron's done to Finn. Well, that leaves one way for Baron to leave, and that's through the ramp side of the ring. And dun 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 dun. You suck. I fucking called that shit weeks ago that Kurt would be the one. I thought they were actually gonna do more than they did with Kurt and Baron, but anyway, all the guys beat the shit out of Corbin with chairs, and Braun, they leave. Then everybody hits their finishers on Corbin and leave him lying in the middle of the ring for Braun to literally put a foot on him and get the 1, 2, 3. So we no longer, thankfully, have Baron Corbin as Raw general manager.
And speaking of this, for a little tidbit for people to turn into our next episode, RMP has a new general manager as well, which will be revealed at our next broadcasting.
Which will be 2 different times, 2 different stations. Tuesday, 10 Eastern, Tuesday after SmackDown, and then Wednesday at 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific on Twitch, on our Twitch channel. We'll get into right now we're doing the TLC stuff, but we will get into that. And I'm very fascinated on the Rocky Mountain Pro decision, what they did at their Charged episode yesterday. Like I'm very interested to see where that's going. Technically, we can say that Rocky Mountain Pro did it first because they did their new general manager yesterday, and waiting on you, WWE.
So what came next?
All right, so next match was Natalya and Ruby Riott in a tables match.
Okay, for what this was, not this match, but like all the way up the card, like this was a good card. Like it was a good pay-per-view with some flaws later on. This match is what the fuck?
Yeah, it was kind of a mess.
It was bad. Not really the match per se. The Cliff Notes version, Natalya ends up putting Liv and Sarah through tables, putting them out of quote unquote commission. And we all know the Jim Neidhart tables out there. Natalya pulls out a table from under the ring that has a Ruby Riott sticker on it, just like the Jim Neidhart sticker. Long story short, Natalya puts Ruby through the Ruby Riott table off of a powerbomb from the middle turnbuckle. What did this accomplish? Besides making the Riott Squad look like complete geeks, Natalya just took out all 3 of them single-handedly.
Oh, Matt DSM just popped off with the Ruby table was more interesting than Live Natty.
Damn.
He's not wrong.
Yeah,
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's that the Ruby table sticker table had more charisma than Natty's shown maybe ever. Maybe ever. This let's at least I'm going. If either one of you want to talk about intricacies of the match, okay, but this does nothing. This does nothing. Like, okay, now Natalya's supposed to be something. Like, that's not happening. We've tried this for a decade. Like, that's not going to happen. But what you
They tried it
do
last year.
You just took a hot act and in the squad and just or you can't take them. Can you take them seriously anymore if Natalya just literally put all 3 through a table? Like that, it makes no sense whatsoever for. And it's not even like, okay, Natalya won. Like I can take Natalya winning. Book it in a way where maybe it was like by accident. Like the squad's beating up Natalia, and Ruby, accidentally might go through a table, which in a tables match you lose. But don't geek the fuck out of three people that are up and coming and are, trying to get traction. They just went from, hey, we've got traction, we're the squad, to that traction went to you trying to climb uphill on the iciest of slopes because you just went all the way back downhill.
Yeah, I mean, and you're right. It's like it's tough to say because, like, from a character storyline standpoint, Natalia should win this match, but from a real life legitimacy standpoint, I guess is the right word I'm looking for. I think Ruby probably needed a win here more than Natalia.
Right, and it's and needed is kind of, when it comes to need in professional wrestling, benefited more from, like, that's a couple months of heat's not the right word I'm looking for, but something like the traction they had going into it, from the riot breaking Anvil's sunglasses to showing the, like, that heat, that traction that you were gathering was, hey, we might be pretty, we might be cute, but guess what? We're kind of psycho and we don't really give a shit. All that, like, just went wayside for what? For Natalia to get a win. Like, it
Well,
just,
Matt DSM put up that they have the work rate to shake it off, but it's just disappointing.
oh yeah, they can bounce back. Don't get me wrong. Like, they, by no means were they buried. It was just a dumb way of doing it. Like, Natalia coulda, woulda, should have won, kind of thing, just based on, like, the face has to win in this kind of scenario, but it didn't have to be, agented the way it was. And go in, and if Matt's listening, you have an open invitation. I'll send you a link right now if you want to come on.
Yes, Matt DSM, we would be honored for you to join us.
But yeah, it's just I'm not upset Natalia won. I'm upset what happened during the match for her to win. I would have rather seen one of those, the referee, like, you're out of here, but not the way it happened. The goofy, like, oh, they keep trying to interfere, so you're out of here. Like, at least do that. At least.
You're out of here. Wait a minute, you can't eject in the Empire. All right, that's it. You're out of here.
You're out of order. You're out of order. This whole courtroom's out of order. Good grief. Yeah, this is kind of the point where it started going downhill for me. Any other thoughts on Natalia versus Ruby in a tables match?
Let's see. Chaos Theory came up with delete.
Like, delete the match? I'm trying to remember who Chaos Theory is. Sorry for not remembering off the top of my head. Maybe that's the sugar high wearing down, but
That's that's Chaos Theory.
Chaos Theory. Well, I know, but I'm trying to.
Did you
Okay.
miss the reference?
You hush your mouth, sir. You hush. I just said I might be coming down from a sugar high, so that and I took my night meds and woo.
Sugar do 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 do. Oh, honey, honey.
Oh, please don't.
Oh, sugar, sugar.
Oh, good grief. Because when you do the do, I get Billy Madison penguin shit vibe going on. Nobody seen that movie? Okay, then, just me. Any other thoughts on Natalia Ruby?
No, that's about it.
Okay, Matt.
No, I don't really have much else to say about this match. It was just kind of mediocre.
And I will speak for Des Moines here, who is Matt DSM. Well, it was a Natalia match. What did you expect?
Yeah.
And I'm speaking for somebody here, so don't send me hate mail for that. So we move on to Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. One part about this match that I wasn't quite fond of was Finn from like literally the 2 matches before of Finn showing up. So we knew he wasn't going to be in demon paint, which we pretty much already knew. But I always hold out that hope because I love the doom 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 doom. I love the catch your breath. But anywho, this was
The Demon King.
Did you say thing? Did you say thing or bang?
The Demon King.
Oh no, please don't. Why do you hate me so? Why must you? Why, Matt? Why?
Because of that ending, that's why.
Uh, so no. This match like should have been great on paper, or on paper it was great. Like you have Finn Balor, you have Drew McIntyre. What could go wrong? Oh, I know. Dolph Ziggler. He goes wrong with everything.
So they brought Dolph in, huh?
Yep.
Yeah. Towards the
Oh, and
end.
wait until what happens after the match.
Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. And yeah, what the hell? I was talking to you guys live. Like, what the hell was that? But yeah, there's it was a good match. Like they were
Yeah.
not really like I expected more. And this is kind of a recurring theme on a few matches in this. Like they could do better, and for I guess
Yeah.
other reasons that we're not privy to, like maybe some were held back for a little bit here, but they could do better. It was a good match, and then Dolph comes out, and Dolph super kicks Drew. Like, okay, first, who didn't see that coming? And there's some back and forth with Dolph and Drew, and then finally, I don't know if Drew left or he was just no longer in camera shot. Finn gets the win here, which kind of goes back to a few weeks ago with Dolph beating Drew for the first time back on the main roster. So this wasn't Drew's first loss on the main roster, since he's been back.
Okay, I got a question.
Answer.
Okay. along on the Twitter feed, people were talking about this could have been a Dolph turn or whatever. If it was, is he trying to compete with Big Show for the number of turns in his career?
Oh, you just wait a minute. You're skipping ahead just a little bit because Dolph turned face again. What was it? 2 weeks ago, Matt? 3 weeks
A
ago?
couple weeks ago.
Yeah, where Dolph turned apparently face and started beating Drew, and but this is when like we are reaching Big Show potential in just a minute, like after this match. But he super kicks Drew. Finn gets the win with a coup de grace. Everything's hunky dory. Any other thoughts on the match itself, Matt?
No, it was a good match. It was just, I don't know, there wasn't
The
really
Dolph,
that much.
the Dolph
It
match.
wasn't really that much to it.
It was a pretty standard like Raw match, if you ask me. Like it was
Right, right.
good, but it was like free TV Raw match.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with, and I'm not saying that anything's wrong with the match. It was just
Right, right.
nothing spectacular stood out. And to answer AA's question, okay, this was like Dolph was a heel, supposedly turned face a couple weeks ago, turning on Drew. Thankfully, they didn't turn Drew on Dolph, making Drew a face. So Dolph was supposed to be a face, but it was still like Dolph's Dolph, and uh, um, so like you went okay, like now Dolph is really a face because he interfered. He cost Drew the match against one of the most over faces for Finn. So by proxy, Dolph is a face. Like, hey, Finn got the win. Drew was there. Drew didn't cost Finn the win. Finn the win. Hey, I rhyme.
You're a
Anyway,
poet and didn't even know it.
something like that. So, like by proxy, like okay, Dolph's definitely a face again. We go to a backstage segment with Finn getting interviewed. Was it Charlie Caruso? I think Charlie. And lo and behold, here comes Dolph and beats the shit out of Finn. This dude, like, in 3 weeks went heel, face, heel. I, you, that's the only way I could see it. Like, it's baffling. It's just utterly. I'm starting to see like there is no explanation for this because I'm assuming that's what you were seeing on Twitter. I avoided Twitter except for talking to you guys through DM, like because I was lagging behind. Like I didn't do Twitter and like I just did. Your DM was the only thing open for VWP headquarters. Oh, I would have shit if Truth would have said, "We're going to VWP headquarters for vacation." Like, oh shit, I don't have food ready. I've got the drinks. I have plenty of drinks. I just don't have food ready. It just made like if you're going with a face Dolph, as boring as it is, go with it. Hill Dolph's just as boring. Don't get me wrong, but to turn him like solidify a face turn by giving Finn the win, and within minutes turning him right back heel by attacking Finn, that just surmises Dolph It really does. And what they do with Dolph, like it's all you need to know about Dolph Ziggler happened in 10 minutes of this show. Like, hey, he's a good guy. No, he's not. Or, hey, he's a bad guy. No, he's a good guy. No, he's a bad guy. That's been Dolph his entire career in WWE.
Okay, what came after this match that Dolph seemed to be the talk of more than the match itself?
Yeah, we did kind of overshadow the match, but because the talking point there was the Dolph stuff. Next, we get Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton in a chairs match.
This was better than I thought it was going to be. This was actually a pretty solid match.
It really was. It was a good match. Chair matches aren't usually good. Period. Like they weren't good back in the day with the headshots. Like, yeah, it was. Damn. How many? And I'm not going to bring up a certain match that when chair matches get brought up, I think of that makes me cringe. But in the
Are,
PG,
are you are you saying that you did not enjoy Big Show and Sheamus at TLC 2012?
oh god,
Hey, at least it wasn't a stairs match. I mean,
give me Will see any day of the week, sir. But yeah, hey, I'm not on meds or anything. Just lighting a cigarette the wrong way. No big deal. It happens. Yeah, me versus a cigarette match. That would have been fun. But it was one of the more entertaining strictly chair matches, at least in a while. It, I, it looked solid match. Like the whole card was pretty solid. Expected a little bit more out of this. The ending fell flat to me. Ray wins, and it's not that Ray wins that took me out of it. It's just the ending was kind of off-putting, if you will. Randy sets up a row of chairs, and it's supposed to be used for Ray, and like we couldn't see this a mile away. Ray counters and puts Randy through it.
I'm I'm actually surprised they let Ray go over Randy.
same
So
here.
was I, and I predicted this, and that Randy would. Um, Nothing against Ray. It's one of those, another one of those tonight where okay, they're both legends. They're both future Hall of Famers. Um, but Randy with this new refound character, like I thought Randy would go over here, like really, really. Oh, you thought me sticking my finger through Jeff Hardy's gauge was bad? Wait till you see what I do to Ray. Like I thought that would be the story here, and it really wasn't. Good match. Like, again, it's the card itself was good. Like there were just some questionable things here and there. Any other thoughts on Ray versus Randy?
Well, I miscalled that one because I know I said Randy was going to go over.
Oh, I did too. Like it was. I don't even think I hesitated. Like I.
So what came after Ray and Randy?
Randy.
Randy.
Um, oh, M- Matt's absolute perfect match, and that actually goes for both Matts. That goes for Matt on the podcast and for Matt DSM listening. Des Moines, shout out to you because this was obviously match of the night for him. Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. Love you, Des Moines. I know you love this match. He had to be on the edge of his seat for this match. Had to be. I'm probably getting cussed out in the chat right now. That's what I do.
No, you're not. No, Taker came in and said, I have not seen any of the pay-per-view. Is worth a watch. Oh, wait, I have to watch it for next Saturday morning.
Okay.
But you're not being cussed out.
I'm about to be. Once I drop this is Des Moines Matt DSM's favorite match of all time.
Which is?
Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax.
This match was boring as hell.
Oh, this match sucks so bad. Like this match could have been like pre-show. Like this match was it it was I guess you have to the credit to this match, but you have to take into account that they took weekend house shows off and whatever to practice this, like on all random matches. Like there were some sloppy points, but it was somewhat crisp. But it was just boring as all get out. At least Ronda didn't have. I'm not saying what Des Moines says, but at least her eye makeup was not the same. It was just regular makeup. This was one of the things here was Cole when Nia and Tamina came out. One of the most devastating tag teams in WWE history. Like what the Cole? Did you just start watching WWE like last week? Like what the hell? Like they're selling, and then there's hyperbole. And do what now? This was just went on too long. And you're starting to tell when it's a little too rehearsed with Ronda. Like the first couple, maybe like, at least she didn't, bunch that bad, and at least there wasn't. But it's starting to tell. Um, and there's a difference between like choreographed and rehearsed, and this was just a little too. It was just boring, like you say. It just Ronda goes over by pointing to Tamina because Tamina halfway made into the ring at one time, like barely, like literally just reaching the ring. And so Nia finally counters a move, or Ronda finally counters a move close to where Tamina is, and looks at Tamina while she has Nia's arm up, and points at Tamina. This is for you, and puts her in a armbar. Like, what now? This is for Tamina how? Because she reached an arm up under the bottom rope? Like, oh, I'm pissed. Like, oh, how dare you reach an arm into the ring? It just made no. Yeah. And they sold what was supposed to be, I guess, a power bomb off the middle turnbuckle from Ronda to Nia. They commentary sold it like it was Hogan slamming Andre again. Such a feat of strength. Like we couldn't tell Nia jump backwards off the middle turnbuckle.
I'm
Anyway,
kind
yeah,
of glad I think then that I missed this match.
yeah, it's. I feel bad for watching it, but saying what I said, dear God, please, are we gonna get now that Ronda's beat Nia twice? Are we gonna get Ronda versus Nia in the next few weeks? Please no. Please don't do that. Because the whole this is for you. You put an arm up under the. How dare you? Like no, please don't. No. This was bad enough. Like just like surely it can't get. No, it can get worse. Put Ronda in the ring with Tamina. Yeah, that's gonna go over well.
That sounds like a interesting match, doesn't it, folks? Not.
Psych. Remember a few match like this is where it started going downhill for me. And so far, like, yep, this is when. Um, any other thoughts on Rowdy Ronda Rousey Nia Jax? Matt,
Match sucked.
so we move on to Daniel Bryan defending his SmackDown, the new Daniel Bryan defending his SmackDown championship against, or the WWE championship against AJ Styles. Matt, I'll let you go first here.
This was actually a really good match. I think it sort of took me a little bit to sort of like really get into it, but I think once it started to pick up, I think that's when it got really good.
This match had like yeah, it started with a lull, and to use a JR freight, like business started picking up, and it was just, I mean, they got this is awesome chance, and it was a back and forth. It's AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, and looking at the match of the night for me,
What was Brian and AJ?
yeah, match. I mean, look at the
Yeah, I'd say that as well.
yeah, so, I mean, the not saying so much about some of the other matches that were really good, but Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, that was match of the night for me. That was very. It didn't start off like Matt and I alluded to it. The beginning of it was kind of slow, if for no other better term, but it picked up, and once it picked up, like it kept picking up and kept picking up and kept picking up. And we finally got a like non low blow, non like oh Wendy. Like it was literally just like in ring ability stuff, which is always a plus. There was none of the other stuff that for a while hindered AJ's reign and or how Daniel won to begin with. Like it was just a straight match. There was no like ref bumps and stuff like that. It was just Daniel retains and just an entertaining match to watch regardless, if I wanted so and so to win or yada yada yada. It was a for one, the rematch thing. Like it was a good match. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And then thoughts on the new. And now they're getting to the point with the new Daniel Bryan that is starting to become the Brian Kendrick. Does
I mean,
anybody?
there was one aspect of the old Daniel Bryan that the new Daniel Bryan has kept, and that he is still Mister Small Package.
Oh yeah, that's
Package.
and for those that haven't seen, and it was AJ rolled, and this was kind of a botch because the rollback out wasn't quite soon enough, so the ref kind of had to stop the count. AJ rolls Daniel up 1, 2. Daniel's shoulders are still pinned, and even the commentator's like, "Kick, he's got to kick out. He's got," and the ref just kind of stops, and then finally it's reversed, and Daniel gets the 1, 2, 3 on the small package reversal. But that was a very slight botch, but a botch nonetheless. That when I say botch, like it was a mistiming thing, like because literally AJ had the 3 count. The ref just like, nope, I'm not supposed to count 3 here and give it another split second. Okay, there we go. Okay, now 1, 2, 3. And then we go to maybe um not worst card of the night, just in my personal opinion, most disappointing or card a match. The most disappointing match of the night. Unless you
Rollins
had
and
any other,
Ambrose.
yes. Unless Matt had any other things about Bryan and Styles.
No.
And really, I can't say it's the most disappointing because this has been the most disappointing feud leading up to this match. So if I'm already disappointed, how much further could I be disappointed? Oh, they'll show me.
Well, at least like with Seth and Dean, even if the feud is disappointing, at least you would think that they would at least put on a good match. This did not happen. Like this match wasn't awful, but it was really boring. It was really dull. It was just there was no life to it at all.
it started off like
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. Like when it started off, like it really didn't start off that bad. It just really
this
degenerated as it
match,
went on.
yes, this match, you're at TLC. You're at literally Stipulation City. This match needed a stipulation.
Absolutely,
Most definitely.
like a
Um,
TLC match or a ladder match, like something like that.
anything like any a no DQ, any kind of stipulation, anything instead of just a match. You know, out of all the stipulations under the sun of wrestling gods, any stipulation, anything. You know, maybe not bra and panties or tuxedo match kind of, but any, in the realm of like sanity, sane people, like any kind of like no count out, no DQ, something. It didn't have to actually involve but a chairs match. Hell, give me a stairs match would have worked.
Or a candlestick on a pole match.
Judy Bagwell on a forklift match would have worked. That's a Buff Bagwell WCW reference. Sorry.
Buff Daddy. I'm
Oh,
buff. I'm the stuff, and the girls just can't get enough.
good
Buff
grief.
Daddy. Buffy's the stuff.
Wow.
That's what happens when you play WCW Mayhem on Nintendo 64.
Oh, by the way, when we go off air, I need to talk to obviously talk to both you guys, but Matt, you two about some games. Anyway, um, yeah, it started off like okay, no stipulation match. This is working, and then it very quickly went to what the fuck. For reference, the crowd started chanting, "This is boring. This is
Yeah.
boring." And later, the crowd, "We want Becky,
I
Becky,
mean, in
Becky."
fairness, who doesn't?
Well, true, but it's Dean and it's Seth. Like you would think, the one match on the card that they didn't really chant non non-factor match chants during any other match except for this one. And it just dragged. And my biggest gripe about this match is commentary. The commentary for this match, and it started pretty much at the beginning, and it just got worse and worse. It started with the Renee and Mike, and I say Mike like I know the dude. Sorry, I have a brother named Michael. I call him Michael, but everybody else calls him Mike. But Michael in court, like that is your husband. Okay, so we're acknowledging that they're married, and then she like started going with it, like, and there's a rumor. I don't know the validity of the rumor, but like they're gonna make Renee the heel commentator, for Dean's side, and it just the match was already boring bad enough, and then you have the commentary just, and then mid commentary, like they completely like, hey, don't just forget about the first half of this match. What we're saying, we're just gonna go a different direction. It was just a mess of and I'll say it here, and I'll give my Twitter and email and stuff later. Um, we've seen these two face each other plenty of times. We know they can do better. And if you haven't figured out by now, this was the last match on the card except for the main event. And if you haven't figured out, that means the main event was the SmackDown Women's Championship. And I said this to Matt and AA and the VWP group chat. I wonder if they sandbagged this for a reason. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but we know they can do better. They didn't do it here. If they would have gone balls to the wall like we know they can,
Right.
maybe the main event wouldn't have stood out, which that's a whole different topic because the main event didn't really. It stuck out, but for different reasons. Maybe they did um, tune it down a little bit. But this match, if they were going to do this here, this match should have been earlier in the card. I mean, on paper and looking forward to like, oh man, Dean, Hill Dean face set, can't wait. Oh, I should have waited. Like maybe they can, maybe they go full on at Royal Rumble or something for the rematch, or which I also said a long time ago. Dean wins here, which he did. If we haven't said that, Dean wins and is the new IC champion. So, WWE rematch clause. Surely they redo this match or have a rematch at Royal Rumble. Maybe then we get a full on Hilding face Seth, like a match that we all are accustomed to. But this was just, uh,
Yeah,
this,
from what I understand, it really was, it, it just wasn't there. And we know they
it,
can have great matches together.
yeah. So there has to be, and not just the match itself. Like I say, even commentary, like it's because it's two of my favorites. It's Seth and it's Dean. Like I'm still invested. But then commentary, like it's even when the match was flowing and the crowd was, this is boring. Like, okay, I'm still invested in the match, but commentary kept taking me out, and but even if I had commentary, the TV on mute, like okay, this is kind of boring. Like it's not what I was expecting. My hopes were way higher than what were reached. Hopefully they, because obviously it's not over. Hopefully they redeem and give us a better match in the rematch. But I reiterate, this definitely needed a stipulation. This screams. If we're at TLC, this screams TLC match. It screams it. Hang that motherfucker on on a hook and let them on paper this should have main evented on paper, or at least I guess however they call it, like co-main event, since it was second to last. But do you really do two TLC championship matches back to back? No. But if it wasn't for the SmackDown Women's Championship, any other, looking back, any other TLC, this had main event written all over it as a TLC championship match.
Yeah, well,
I shouldn't feel bad as one of the biggest Dean Ambrose fans, second maybe to only you. Well, you are first, but I might be third or fourth because there's some bigger fans out there. I shouldn't feel bad of for Dean winning the IC championship. I shouldn't like feel like, that happened. I shouldn't feel that way. I do. Does that make sense at all?
yeah, that does make sense.
I just like, it just this match really wrestling doesn't piss me off. We'll get to that in just a second.
No, that's the next match, right?
Yeah, but it just like I'm all for Dean winning. I just it's aggravating or a
It
letdown kind of thing.
yeah, it was let down. It was lackluster.
Yeah, like because you know it's there. You know it's there. We've seen it. We've literally seen it. And we got what we got and blah. Anywho, any other thoughts on this match, you guys?
No,
Well, AA, you got your seatbelt on?
I got my seatbelt on.
So do I. Matt, we're going to the main event, which is SmackDown Live Women's Championship TLC match, which is Asuka versus Charlotte versus the reigning, defending, the one, the only, the man, Becky Lynch. You have the floor, sir.
Becky got robbed. Just the match. The match was solid, and the fact that it main event was really cool because it didn't feel forced. This felt like okay, there's a reason for this to be main eventing. And Becky Lynch, at this moment, is one of the hottest superstars in WWE right now. She has all the momentum. And so, in WWE Creative's infinite wisdom, they decide to take the title off of her for no reason at all. And I know a lot of people are going to say that Becky and Ronda, it's because they're going to have a match at WrestleMania. Dude, I wish I could be that optimistic. I really do. But until there is absolute confirmation of that match happening, I'm still going to say this is a dumb decision. If nothing else, they at least put the title on one of the better women, I guess. It's better than another Charlotte reign, I guess, but just I don't know. I don't know. Just I really don't get why they would have Becky lose the title right now and take her minion the same. Like the reason Becky is winning the Rumble and challenging Ronda at Mania. Like I get that. I do get people saying that, but at the
That's
same
not what's
time,
happening.
that the thing is that's not guaranteed though. That's the point. That's my point. It's like it's not guaranteed. If that match happens, okay, fair enough. I'll be fine with that. But when there's no guarantee of that happening, it's just a dumb decision in my opinion. Because you have someone who is at their hottest, at their most highest momentum, and you just take the title off of them for a match that might not even be happening at least at WrestleMania anyway. Just I don't know. I don't know.
Becky versus Ronda is not main eventing WrestleMania 35. You know what
She
is?
should.
Do you know what is?
Yeah, Charlotte Ronda,
Nope. Do you know what is?
Brock.
Nope.
I don't know.
Ronda, Charlotte, Becky, triple threat.
We don't need another triple threat. It needs to be a one-on-one match. Becky Ronda.
Mark my words. That's going to be your main event of WrestleMania 35. Yeah, I said it here first. It's going to be Ronda, Becky, Charlotte.
And now I don't even
Because
care about the SmackDown Women's Division anymore. I really don't, man. I mean, I apologize for the negativity, but this is a grieving period for me.
grieve, man, grieve. That's could have used some more cuss words in there, but we gave you plenty of time to cool down. If, for those that don't know, he still didn't cuss even through text, but oh, Matt was heated.
Oh God.
This was so dumb. And guess what? Guess what? And lost of all of it, January of this year, Asuka wins the inaugural Raw or the inaugural Women's Royal Rumble. Who steals her spotlight? Fucking Ronda Rousey. December of this year, main event TLC. Guess who wins? Asuka. Guess who steals her fucking spotlight? Ronda fucking Rousey.
Yeah, like that was a heel turn. They are insane. They are high if they think Ronda is still going to be cheered as a baby face after this. It ain't happening.
It was well. First and foremost, they're probably high. That was the dumbest damn thing ever. And to give anybody that hasn't seen it a visualization, there are two ladders set up in the match, or in the match in the ring is what I was trying to say. I know word good. Hey, that's the first time I've done that in a while. But anyway, so you have Asuka on one ladder. First, you have Charlotte and Asuka beating the shit out of each other on one ladder right underneath the belt. Then you have Becky come in with another ladder, and she's climbing one, which leads to Becky and Charlotte being on one ladder at the same time. And they start duking it out. And for whatever reason, here comes old Ronda Rousey, pushes the ladder down with Becky and Charlotte on top of the ladder, pushing them off the ladder out of the ring and walking away smug faced. And Asuka climbs the ladder that's still standing and wins the championship. And I've been saying this since her debut. How's Ronda a face?
Yeah.
Like, besides, just like, oh, well, she's facing the bad guys. How's Ronda a face? It just, that it was a. I'm as well. I can't say that because that I might not be as frustrated as you, but I'm frustrated myself because that was a dumb way of. It was just so. So technically, if I pick Ronda to main event TLC, did I win? Because what's going to be talked about and what's being talked about is more, well, Ronda Rousey versus Asuka winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. It was just a million different ways you could have gone about that and not do that.
Taker popped in with they could have put the title back on Charlotte.
Yeah, we said that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like I said earlier, it's like they put the title on Oscar rather than Charlotte, so that's at least a little better, but still, until there is confirmation that Ronda Becky is happening at WrestleMania main event, I still say this is a dumb decision.
Yeah.
Why would you take the title off your most popular superstar?
Well, and to be devil's advocate for just a second, and I agree with you, hottest superstar. She's that hot. Maybe this will make her even hotter. I mean, look at just us. Like now we it's not like Becky's, the man. Becky's okay. Now we're out for we need redemption. We need I say we as a Becky fan thing. And I'm not as far in the spectrum of the Becky stuff as you are. Like I don't need Becky all day, every day stuff. Okay,
What's that
I
supposed to mean?
but I could see where okay maybe and you know, at least it wasn't Charlotte, and now I don't know. I'm trying to look at it positively, and I know that's kind of hard to do. Okay, the SmackDown. Okay, Asuka can do Asuka things. Um, maybe the triple threat I'm envisioning might be Asuka Charlotte, but we just did that at TLC. Asuka Charlotte Becky. Maybe at Royal Rumble we get Becky Asuka. I don't. But I'm still saying you're now after tonight your money maker WrestleMania feud is Ronda, Becky, Charlotte, triple threat.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how if this reasoning of theirs plays out to something worthwhile.
Yeah, that's interesting is a good way of putting it because Lord knows they could drop the ball instantly. It just doesn't. It's not that Oscar won per se. It's how
It's how it
well,
happened.
yeah, like that. It just like Common Core math. Like how the fuck does 1 + 1 = 3 all of a sudden? Like when did that happen? Well, Daddy, let me show you. If you do this and you do this and you do who's teaching my child that 1 + 1 = 3? And that's legit shoot for back in the first grade homework. No, Daddy, let me show you because we've been taught this in school. 1 + 1 can equal 3. Do what now?
You have one apple and you add another apple. You have 2 apples. You don't have 3, you've got 2 apples.
Yeah, but the shit they're teaching our kids anymore with Common Core math. Oh, that's a whole different podcast. But holy shit, with their well, Daddy, you just can't divide 8 into 64. You have to break it down into groups and like what the. It again a whole. I could go an entire podcast of how Common Core is messed up, but anyway, back to the programs. So we'll be back Tuesday after SmackDown, talking about what happened with Vince coming back on Raw and this shake-up thing they're talking about, and they promoted that heavily tonight on TLC of Vince shaking things up and what's going to
Shake
happen.
it up. Shake it
Shake,
up.
shake, 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 shake,
Dance
shake.
all night.
Shake, 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 shake your booty. Shake your booty.
Shake your groove thing, baby. um, that's why we're getting the TLC review out of the way tonight because we've got a Tuesday on YouTube channel and Wednesday on Twitch channel. We've got a lot to talk about as it is. So, and Matt's working Thursday if he doesn't get called in sooner. So, hey, we're all awake. TLC happened.
Yep.
Let's talk about it now.
I gotta go sell games and gaming accessories.
Which you are so good at.
Damn it, Bobby.
Thanks, AA.
Well, I don't know if you're that good at it since I haven't, received a discount yet. I thought we was friends.
I mean, we are having a sale through Christmas.
We completely sidetracked from wrestling. Overall, the show was good. Like it was.
Yeah, it was a solid show for the most part, except for that main event, which I will not talk about any further than I already have, because I will just lose it.
Yeah, and a couple of the outcomes are questionable at best. But the actual
Right.
like the in ring stuff, like it was a good show.
Really good shoe. Really good.
Well, it's a good show.
I think someone missed the reference.
Well, I was trying to make my own reference, damn it.
Well, I missed the reference.
Ed Sullivan reference.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
you
Now
know,
I get it.
the guy like 20 years younger than us making that old reference. Like, yeah,
and
solid show.
speaking of older and 20 years older, wasn't it somebody's birthday this past Friday?
I have no clue who you're talking about, sir. Hey, was it your birthday? Happy
No,
birthday.
it wasn't my birthday. I think it was a Mock's birthday.
I don't. Shadow, was it your birthday? Buster?
Buster Elmo.
No, it wasn't their. I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Well, I did it for AA when it was her birthday bash, so I
Oh,
have to
good
do it for
grief.
my fellow co-host. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Moxie. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And just like when you did with AA, I still envision you singing, you being Marilyn Monroe singing "Happy Birthday" to Kid.
Happy
Yes.
birthday, Mr. Moxie.
Oh God, you went. You stared into the skid. You stared into the skid. Yes, I had a birthday Friday. Woohoo! Um, I had a birthday Friday. Nursing home comes Monday.
Okay, Taker just said, "Happy birthday, Mox. Welcome to old fartdom."
Oh, I've been there for a while, but thanks, Take. And yeah, this was fuck it. Um, by 30s, it was nice knowing you. We had our ups and downs, but deuces. Hopefully, 40s look good on me.
I'm sure they will.
Well, if the last 2 days are, I was gonna say a bad joke or a joke that I couldn't think of off the top of my head. By the way, my first pay per view in this new quote unquote era was TLC tonight. Hmm, great. Yeah, it's getting off to a great start so far. Where were you when you turned 40? Oh, I was seeing a couple bullshit matches. Endings, not matches. Again, it's not the matches, the endings. But overall, I would give TLC. You know what? I'll go ahead and sorry, Matt. Yeah, even though a couple of the outcomes weren't expected, B minus, B minus to C plus here. Like it passes
Yeah, I would give it a C plus as well.
because what was really good was really good. Just some of the questionable. The only really bad match, and it wasn't even that bad. It was just to reiterate the Dean said, like, what was that? I mean, there was literally people leaving to go to the bathroom or concessions or whatever during the match. But overall, it was a good way to end WWE's pay per view 2018. Good way, like as an overall thing, not like the main event, final, what you see and what happened, because that's a whole different story. Like I always do, like, was it worth my data or not? Yeah, it was worth my data to watch this. So there's a lot of pay per views. Apparently, I'm on an unlimited plan, but once I get to a certain limit, like slow me down. So I have to be careful how much of what I watch, and was it worth it? Yes, this was worth it to watch. Any other closing thoughts?
Nope.
Matt?
Nope.
Matt's like,
So,
can we just quit talking about this damn pay-per-view?
okay, so how can they get a hold of you guys?
Well, you can
Well,
find me on Twitter at Mailmat15. Also on Cage Seats, hang on in the daily and the nightly. The nightly, I'm doing a Starcade retrospective. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to take a look at Starcade 87 today. Just was busy with TLC and running errands and all that stuff. So I'm going to try and do it tomorrow. So I was able to watch the first few matches on there, and there was a hilarious botch with Barry Windham and Dr. Death Steve Williams, where I think Dr. Death ends up getting low blowed, and it was a complete botch.
Oh boy,
good times.
that'll
But
be
yeah,
interesting to hear.
yeah, it was pretty funny. And also a good scaffold match with the Rock and Roll Express and the Midnight Express. So honestly, I thought it was much better than Road Warriors and Midnight Express.
Oh, the old scaffolding matches, especially
And
'86.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Midnight Express did another one of those.
Yeah,
I have to imagine that Cornette was having Vietnam flashbacks
yeah.
at Starcade '87.
Last time I did this, I broke my freaking leg. No, no more scaffolding. You can get a hold of me at fireman6809 on Twitter. Email dee.cartr, that's d.carter614 at gmail.com. Find me on Twitch at Mox MOX, VWP, MOX underscore VWP.
okay, you can get a hold of me on Twitter at Lady Roshana. That's LadyRoschana. I'm in the daily, sometimes rarely the nightly as Ambrose Sally, and you can get a hold of me on Twitch at Violent Wrestling Podcast, no G in wrestling. And give a shout out to our other Twitch family is we have Shooting Debris and Connoisseurs of Wrestling, Two Guys, One Sport, and Grounds for Development. Plus, there's also Fizzy's Wacky World out there somewhere. But it's out there.
Somewhere over the rainbow. It was better. It was either I was singing or Matt was going to. Somebody was going to sing that.
Yep, yep. The podcast is out there. Wee, 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 wee.
And Ruthless Aggression podcast on YouTube. I forget who hosts that.
Yeah,
Uh,
me. This Friday we'll be having a new episode on Great American Bash 2004 with the
Noise.
first and, as far as I know, the only Concrete Crypt match that main event of the show.
I wonder why that didn't last. It's like taking Buried Alive to a whole new level. Questionable endings on some of the matches, but enjoyable show. Morris fell asleep um, during the well, I guess this kind of sums up the pay per view. Morrisville split during the Dean Seth match, and so unfortunately, I have to give him the bad news of what happened during the main event in the morning before school.
He's going to be devastated.
He's gonna be pissed. He wouldn't be so pissed if Oscar won. Like he'd be okay with that. But once I give him the details of what transpired, he's not going to be a happy camper. So I might wait and tell him after he gets home from school. Like, let's not just shit all over his day before he even gets to school.
So I guess that wraps us up for tonight. Don't forget, we'll be in Tuesday night after Smacky Down
Smacky, smacky down.
to talk about what's going on. And little tease, you'll find out who the new general manager is of Rocky Mountain Pro.
Nice. And last night, another other little tease to kind of elaborate just a little bit. Rocky Mountain Pro had their final charge of the year last night, and man, what a show! And so there's going to be a lot to talk about Tuesday and Wednesday. Just awesome show, awesome, awesome. Check them out on Twitch. You can see last night's episode and all charged episodes on Twitch. Oh, it was a great show.
So I guess it's good night, everybody.
Peace.